Thanks for joining me today. My name is Eric Brown with CG Wealth, and I'm a portfolio manager at Graham Wealth Partners. Got another interesting topic for you today. Today I'll be talking about RESP overload. That's Registered Education Savings Plan overload. And this is something that maybe you haven't heard of before, and maybe you've not heard of it referred to as this, but here's what we're going to talk about. So most people will be maximizing out your tax efficient accounts, your tax-free savings accounts, your RSPs. Maybe you do an individual pension plan if you're a business owner. Maybe you do an education plan for your kids. But what I want to talk about today is how you can use your RESP in a way to get a bigger tax advantage, not only for your kids' education, but maybe for other purposes as well, for your own purposes. So we all know that you can contribute money into your RESP and it will provide you a government grant. So the maximum you can get is $2,500. Contribution will get you $500 in grant. And we also know that each child can contribute up to $50,000 over the lifetime of that plan, and that's the maximum per child. So what happens if you were to make that contribution of $50,000 up front and compare that to making your maximum amount every year to get your grant? So that's $2,500 plus the $500 in grant. What would be the comparison? And you might be saying, who has $50,000 to invest in their RESP? Well, if you're that type of person, the strategy might be for you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for your own kids. You could also do it for your grandkids as well, because as a grandparent, you're allowed to open up an RESP in your grandkid's name, but obviously you have to make sure that all the RESPs combined don't hit those thresholds of maximum contributions. So let's say you open up an RESP and you put $50,000 in, and then you hold it in that account for 18 years, or when they might need to go to school, and you get your $500 of grant for the first year, but no grant for the rest of the year. Now, let's compare it to if you had made a $2,500 contribution every single year for 18 years, got your $500 grant every single year, and earned a rate of return. And to keep it simple, we're going to use 5% return on each. And the difference will actually be bigger the larger the return. So if it's 6, 7, 8% or more, then the difference will be larger. So what do you think the difference would be? Where are you going to get the most amount, the biggest bang for your buck? Is it going to be where you're getting government grant, or is it going to be by putting money into the account upfront? So as you might have guessed, it is putting money into the account upfront. So if you follow all those criteria, $50,000, 5% return over 18 years, you'll end up with approximately $120,000 in that education plan. And that's just for one kid. If you do it the other way, $2,500 plus $500 a grant for 18 years for 5% return, you will end up with $90,000. So there's a significant difference, $30,000. And that might be excellent for funding a kid's education, maybe grad school, maybe US college, maybe a more expensive place to go. Or what you can also do is, if your kids go to school, you can take that money out as long as they can confirm that they're going to a post-secondary education, and as long as they're doing it full time. You can take that money out without having to provide receipts or anything along those lines. You can take that out and use the money as you choose. So it allows you to grow money tax-free. Obviously, the issue is if your kid doesn't go to school, there will be different things that you can do with it. You can take the money out. The investment growth will be taxable to you. The grant will have to be paid back. But in that first scenario, if it's $50,000 up front, then there's only that $500 in grant. So if this is a strategy that you're interested in, and maybe it's not $50,000 up front, maybe it's 40, maybe it's 30, maybe it's 15 for 3 years and then 5, or whatever that might look like, please reach out to me. I'd love to chat to see how that strategy might work for you based on your circumstances and figure out something that makes the most sense.